Right, now for your weekly preview video in Linguistics 205. This is week 4, and our topic this week is the physiology of the vocal tract. As usual, this video will review last week, preview this week's material, and note the important dates for the week to come, for this week. But before we start with the learning material, I want to share a bit of a public service announcement. There are a lot of resources available at the U of A to help students out. Here's a little summary of some of the things you can access if you need. Right. I've put links to these resources in the description of this video. You can find this graphic under the U of A student support folder in the main section of our eClass page. Okay, so last week we expanded our view of the IPA to take in a whole bunch more consonants, vowels, diacritics. You also wrote a quiz. I posted some reflections on the general trends that arose while I was marking it. So you can see that in the discussion forum. You can also go in and look at exactly where you nailed it and where you might need to work on things in the quiz itself. So although the quizzes aren't cumulative, you should be getting a clear idea now of how questions are phrased and how they're graded. And of course, every 3 weeks or so, you'll be doing a lab assignment covering one of the topics we've just covered. So reviewing how you did on the quizzes will help you know what you might need to work on going into those deeper dive assignments. So this week, we get up close and personal with the anatomy of the vocal tract. In the first week, we reviewed the basic anatomy that you need in order to describe the articulation of English sounds, and by extension, most of the other IPA sounds. But there's a lot more to it than that. So this chapter is divided into 3 sections: the subglottal, everything before the larynx, the laryngeal, and the supralaryngeal. In the subglottal section, we learn about how the lungs actually do the work of moving air about. We learn a lot of detailed anatomical aspects of that work. And we also learn how that movement of air can be modulated to affect the speech that's produced. Right? In linguistics, as linguistics, we're not interested in all the gas exchange stuff and breathing. That's not the important. It's how we make speech, right? In the section on the larynx, we get a lot of new detail. For a small structure, the larynx is close in size to a little powered act. In fact, that's probably already larger than the average larynx. For such a small structure, the larynx does a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts. And it does a lot for us in speech. Now, I always have to force myself to back off a little here. Most of my graduate work in linguistics was focused on laryngeal aspects of speech production, so I could go on for rather a lot on this topic. But in this chapter, so there are structures, there are muscles, you even get a view into a decades-long question, now largely resolved, about how exactly our vocal folds move to produce voicing. It's fascinating stuff. I'm mainly concerned about the more current understanding. The vibrating string and neurochronaxic models are great historical background, but they don't really, shouldn't take up a lot of space in your brain in terms of a contemporary understanding of how this works. And then the bit on register is a nice warm-up for what we're going to be looking at next week with phonation. Okay, so after the larynx, we have the discussion of the supralaryngeal portion, what the textbook simply calls the vocal tract. To my mind, the vocal tract, that term should include all of it because it's all used and it's all necessary. But anyway, for this portion, you get a refinement on what you already know. Don't skip it. There is some new stuff in there too, with muscles and finer points on anatomy stuff that we didn't catch in week 1. So that's what you're learning this week from the textbook. In terms of what to watch for, the practice quiz for this week will be available by the end of Tuesday. So I'm sorry for the delay, but it'll be available shortly after this video goes up. Next Wednesday, that's February 10th, will be the quiz on the material from weeks 3 and 4, last week and this week. So if you've fallen behind at all, make sure to get caught up before then. Also remember that the first transcription assignment is due by the end of the day on Tuesday. So that's the day after this video is going up this week. February 2nd is when it's due. And all of the assignments, just to be clear, are due just before midnight Alberta time, so you may need to make adjustments if you're in a different time zone. This week's material covers what you need to do what you need to know to do the Frankentract option for the first lab assignment. And this means that whichever option you choose, you now have what you need to do the first lab assignment. This assignment itself is worth 15% of your grade. So even though it isn't due for about 3 weeks, it's due on February 23rd, it's very important that you start it as early as possible. I'm happy to spend a bit of time in this week's tutorial discussing the assignment expectations or anything else you're not clear on yet, or by email or on the forum to help nail that down so everyone can get going on it. So remember, your options for this assignment are the Deep Transcription, which covers transcription obviously, Sounds of the World 1, which deploys your newly expanded IPA knowledge from last week, and the Frankentract, which is all about anatomy. The Sounds of the World and the Frankentract assignments are both related to options for Lab Assignment 3. So if you're leaning toward either of those, I do recommend checking out Lab 3 lower down, further on in the e-class page, to see what the options are there and how they relate, so that you can sort of plan out your choices as optimally as possible. Right, that's it for this video. I hope to see you at Tuesday's tutorial. We're just going over whatever you want to talk about as usual. I will have stuff prepared for the vocal physiology stuff from this week, as well as I'll be ready to answer questions about the lab assignments or anything else that comes up. So that's it for now.